Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully, everyone is staying warm and safe inside their homes. Maybe you're getting out a little bit today based on the roads, but thank you guys for coming and watching. This will be probably the last one we do at like a noon time, not unless we're getting any of these kind of snowstorms down the road, which hopefully we're not, but you never know. But I am going to try to work a few of these kind of live Q&As and live streams from different things throughout the club season. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. That way you get updates on all those things. We appreciate it. The more people we have subscribed, the more we can help. So please keep that in mind as we get going through the club season. Couple of resources just again to kind of point out to you guys. We have a few things linked in the description below. That includes our online program, which is on our website. We have an app that literally you can get all of our resources, videos, and stuff like that at your fingertips on your phone. And so copy and paste that link into your browser and you can see that. And you can do it on your desktop as well, but it is optimized for doing mobile stuff with it. So check out those two resources for sure. And then, yeah. So today, there's already one question on here about questionnaires. I dropped a question in the chat just asking you guys what the hardest part of the recruiting process right now is for you. So if you can answer that question, that would be great. That'll kind of help lead the discussion. I will say if it looks like I am a little bit crooked on my camera, it's because my neck hurts really bad. I went outside yesterday and was pulling what's called icicle from the side of the house to take inside and show the kids. And as I turned, after I grabbed it, turned and bam, just slipped and fell. Didn't hit my head, luckily, but did give myself kind of whiplash a little bit. So I'm fine. I was laying on the ground earlier with a lacrosse ball on my kind of shoulder and back and neck, trying to ease the pain of that a little bit. But that's, if I look crooked, that's because of that. So what's the hardest part of the recruiting process right now for you? If you can answer that question, or with a question, but answer that question, we'll kind of steer the conversation in that direction. If you have other questions, feel free to put those in as well. I did want to hit on a few things really quickly that kind of just been going on recently. So when it comes to film, I talk about film quite a bit. You can't see how big my laptop is or my desktop computer that's behind my laptop, but this phone, your phone, is like 4 or 5 inches across, right? Something like that. You need to make sure that you are optimizing your film for a desktop computer. Okay. More often than not, college coaches are watching film from their office, from their computer. Sometimes they do it on their phone, and that's fine. What I think the struggle is, when your film is really small, it's harder to evaluate you and harder to really see what you're doing. Okay. And I know I was talking to an athlete about this the other day. Like if you're in Austin, they could only set up their camera on one side, and sometimes you were on the far side, and that's totally fine. You can't do anything about that, right? That kind of part is what it is. But when your screen shows up as like an inch on even like a phone, and it's the same size on like my desktop, it makes it really hard to evaluate you. So kind of mobile video, like your straight up and down camera, Instagram stuff, like that stuff optimizes on your phone, and that's totally fine. No issue with that. But it doesn't optimize up to your desktop, right? Like if I pull up Instagram right now on my computer, it's gonna look like this on the screen, right? It's gonna look like a phone on the screen. That's how Instagram is kind of optimized on a desktop. It's still gonna give me, might be a little bit bigger, but it's still going to be harder to evaluate because just as a whole, it's smaller on the screen. Like film that's built for desktops, like which is what Huddle is designed for. It'll optimize down to mobile and to your phone. But the stuff from your phone, like that you're screen recording and things like that, doesn't always optimize up to a desktop. So again, just like film is really important. I understand that can be difficult, but please try to make sure that your film is that the film you're putting in front of college coaches is going to make their job easier, right? That's just a big thing from the last couple of days. Someone else had mentioned to me that like, hey, I'm not getting any responses. Yeah, you might not. Like that's just I did a whole video on this on the YouTube channel a month or so ago. Especially if you're a sophomore, you might get schools that are interested in you and they're not going to respond to you in any way, shape, or form. And so you do have to pay attention to like who's coming to your court and that kind of thing. But you might not get responses. I know this is really weird for like y'all's generation. As far as like the TikTok and Snapchat, and we're used to getting responses from college coaches. That is unfortunately not how this process works. Okay. You are sending a lot of responses out, not getting responses in return. I know that's really hard. I know this is difficult. I know it's frustrating. That is just part of the process. That's just part of how this works from now on this side. That being said, if you are emailing the wrong schools, if you are emailing schools where you're not going to be a good fit, we talked about the last Q&A, at least I think we talked about it, like where you fit metrically, right? Where you fit as far as your how high you jump, how hard you hit, how tall you are, how physical you are. Right? Like talk about it talk about metrics and like physicality overall. Okay, you need to make sure that you're reaching out to schools where you're going to be a good fit. Physicality wise, because that's where you're going to pull interest back in your direction. And if you're reaching out to a bunch of schools where you're not a fit physicality wise, then we need to redirect. Okay. And you might not get responses from any of those schools. Like I would love for all of those college coaches to get on the email and say, hey, you're not what we're looking for. Unfortunately, they don't do that. I would love for them to do that, but they just don't do that. At least as much as I would like. So, again, focus your kind of time and energy on schools where you're going to be a really good fit. And if you are struggling to find that kind of niche, let me know. I'm happy to help. Not everyone likes my answers to those questions, but I can definitely help a little bit there. Okay, so Bailey had asked about, I don't have my standing block, approach block, all those kind of things. And that's fine. Sometimes it's required on a questionnaire, not all the time, but sometimes it's required on a questionnaire. And so I don't want you to make something up, but definitely get that information from your strength and conditioning, strength training coach, or at club if you have a Vertec or something like that, and you can test really quick. It takes all of 10 seconds for you to test your vertical. I'm someone that argues that we should be doing it more. But that's another discussion for maybe another day as far as vertical testing. Britton asking, what's the best way to let coaches know what tournaments I'm at and what court I'm on, or do I just keep emailing them? So you should definitely let college coaches know your schedule. Put it in your emails. This is my schedule for, the rest of the season. And then a month from now, you can say, here's my schedule for the, what we have going forward. But you should also let them know what you're doing like week to week. Right. And we have a video in our, on our app and on our online program that kind of talks through the ways that I suggest you kind of look ahead at your club schedule and then plan out when to send your emails. And again, be proactive about it. Because I think being proactive is really, really beneficial. But yes, you need to like stay frame of mind. And so regularly reaching out to college coaches, hey, I'm playing this weekend. Hey, I'm playing next week. Hey, here's my film from last weekend, right? Like doing that, I think is really important. That's the best way because just like I think I mentioned this last time, I talk about university athlete all the time. I talk about Instagram only volleyball accounts all the time. Post on social media, talk about it here, talk about it in front of families when we meet with teams. And I still get questions about it, right? So like if you're reaching out with your schedule once, college coaches aren't just going to remember your schedule. Okay. Like our individual kids, we have a system in Notion that we keep track of all our athletes, and that's one of the sections on there is their qualifiers that they're going to. That way we have access to that information. Some college coaches are going to do that for maybe some of their top recruits. Really, they just want the information, and really, college coaches just want to hear from you more often than not. Social media, I talked about this in another video. I'm not against posting your schedule on social media. Again, just remember that college coaches are not going to your Instagram account to see if you're playing this weekend. Okay. The ownership of them remembering is not on them. The ownership of them remembering that you're playing this weekend is on you. If they don't check your Instagram account every week to find out if you're in this qualifier or that qualifier this weekend, then they're going to not come watch you, right? So it's on you to remind them that you are playing this weekend or next weekend. So, yeah. So in response to my kind of what's the hardest part of the recruiting process, the time it takes to get the emails out. Yeah, it definitely can. And I'm definitely someone who thinks that you should be, sending emails regularly, sending specific emails out to college coaches, unique emails out to college coaches. It is okay. Like if you're playing this weekend in the tour stop here in Dallas, right? And you want to send sort of a blanket general email to all those coaches, just like your reminder kind of that you're playing this weekend, and it's going to be non-specific and very general. I don't necessarily have an issue with that. The problem becomes when college coaches only get that generic email from you and they don't get any other information. They don't get any other updates. You don't kind of give them any sort of insight as to why you're interested in their program, right? Like interest is still super important. And so you need to make sure that you are communicating that interest to those college coaches. So let me know what other questions you guys have. Let me know what other questions you guys have in the chat, please, as we get going. Just as they come into your head, let me know. That way we can kind of keep answering as many questions as possible. I think yesterday when we did this, we were on for an hour answering questions. We don't have to be on for an hour. We can be on for as long as you guys need me to answer questions, whether that's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 14 minutes, whatever works for me. That's why I'm here, just to give you guys a resource and point you into some different directions. But again, please check out the resources that we have, our online program. We have a needs list that we update. We're going to have close to 60 updates this month when we get through the end of January, and the next update gets posted on February 1st. We're going to have 60 updates for this month, and potentially more because of Dallas this weekend. I'll be out in Dallas this weekend at the tour stop talking to a bunch of college coaches. So we might have more than 60 updates to that needs list come February 1st. So make sure you guys check out those resources. Hi, Blake. Is regularly weekly, 2 times a week, or monthly? That's a good question. So it's really, and I talk about this more specifically in that video on our online program. I would say you need to try to do more than monthly. And I would suggest at a minimum, before your big tournaments, Triple Crown qualifiers, things like that, you need to make sure that you're reminding college coaches that you're playing that weekend. That would be kind of the bare minimum. Like I said, in our online resources, I talk about that a little bit more, and I go into depth of kind of what my suggestion is and how to plan and how to be proactive about the emailing piece. But at least once a month. But I would definitely do hey, I'm playing in the tour stop at Dallas this weekend. Hey, I'm playing in Triple Crown this weekend. Hope to see you at my court, right? Like that kind of precursor to each weekend. That way, college coaches, you're staying frame of mind. That's the goal. If you can bust out, an email every single week, awesome. Or if you're mixing it up as far as like sending an email, maybe you're doing like some DMs through Instagram or something like that, right? And you want to spend some time focusing on posting on social media. That's great too. We have in our online program and both on the app, should be in the app as well. We've made just kind of a monthly, 3-day a week kind of posting calendar and schedule. And it has ideas in there for you. I think that's the hardest part always for me about social media and staying engaged with social media is just having the ideas. Sometimes that takes a little bit longer for me to come up with than others. And so those calendars, 3 posts a week gives you some ideas on what to do and some structure, and does some videos and pictures and carousels if you want as well. I think there's some different posting options on there. So yeah, that's a good question. What else? I'll stay on for a little bit longer if you guys have any more questions. Again, we don't need to be on for an hour unless you guys need me to be on for an hour, but how else can we help? Yeah, so the questionnaires, that's a good question, Bailey, when it comes to the questionnaires. The questionnaires are good for you to do. It's going to let college coaches know that you're interested in them, because you fill out that questionnaire and they're going to get a notification and your name's going to pop up, right? So, I mean, add questionnaires to the list as far as ways to reach out to and engage with college coaches, because you fill out the questionnaire, your name's going to pop up again on their phone or on their screen. So that, don't send an email this week, fill out a questionnaire instead, something like that, right? You can do that. The questionnaires can be sort of in depth. I remember when I first became a full-time assistant, I looked at our questionnaire and we were asking for, like, I don't know, grandpa's work history and work address, and it was very in depth. And we were making a lot of things required that I didn't feel like need to be required. And so we took a lot of that stuff off. We made a lot more of it not required, right? Like questionnaire, kind of the biggest things when it comes to questionnaires are going to be your contact info. Where do you go to high school, your coach's contact info, high school coach's contact info. That way college coaches can reach out to the people that they want to and need to reach out to. Those are going to be the most important things. Bailey's asking about like GPA and test scores. If you haven't taken the SAT or the ACT yet, then obviously you can't fill that out. If you've taken a PSAT, I mean, you can put in there, potentially you can just write in, I did a 1200 PSAT, right? If it asks for that specifically, usually they give you some leverage as far as what you're allowed to put in that section. So yeah, I've had families spend like an hour on each questionnaire. I just feel like that's too much time. Give college coaches kind of the necessity information, the information they really need, and all the other stuff is probably not worth your time. Like, you don't need to put in the address of your high school. Like, you just don't. Unless you really, really want to. I just think that's a little bit unnecessary. Okay, if you can't find a coach's email, or it's not listed on the website, it's a good question. For all of our athletes, they just reach out to me and I give them the email address. So depending on, there's a couple different like tricks, I guess. If you go on, I don't even know who this would be. Let me see if I can pull something up. Let's just assume. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you real quick, and because I don't have like everyone's email address memorized, right? Hopefully you guys can see the screen. I don't have the email address for everyone memorized, but you can, jump to coaches. Let's see if Alabama has it. So like Rashinda doesn't have hers listed. Okay. I mean, I know Rashinda's email address. I have it. It's not going to be here. Okay. Because she's trying to get you to email other people, Nathan or Ray. So their email address is listed. So you can email them, even though you're not emailing the head coach. That's usually totally fine. Some schools, this is all going to be blank. Okay. And then the one place that sometimes you can check, if you go to like the athletics tab, they will sometimes have like a staff directory. Okay. And sometimes in that staff directory, you can, usually volleyball is like near the bottom. So I usually scroll down to the bottom. A lot of people that work in the athletics department at University of Alabama. Here, volleyball, right at the end. Okay, so she doesn't have hers here either. So sometimes college coaches won't put them in their bio page, but they will still have contact info here. And so that would be the other place that I would check. But in general, like you can ask your club coach, club director, recruiting coordinator, person like myself. Any of the apps like Sports Recruits or Productive Recruit should have email addresses there that you can use. And so I would encourage you to check out those tools. On our needs list, we do have email addresses listed. We try to keep those updated as best we can. We probably do. We do a significantly worse job of keeping those the contact info updated on there than we do just the needs list. But yeah, there's a couple different places that you can find it, and if you can't find it, someone should be able to help you out with that. Yeah, if you don't have the information as far as your block touch, vertical, like if you don't have that info, then yeah, I would just leave it blank, unless they require it. If you require it, that's hard, you know. But I would definitely get that as soon as you can. Right, let's do one more question. One more question, guys. Good question, Kaylee. For questionnaires, do I need to fill out for every school I'm contacting or only ones that ask for it? So you definitely should fill out the ones that ask for it. Whether you need to fill out a questionnaire for every school, I mean, that's up to you, how much time and energy you want to spend kind of doing that. The schools that you're interested in, again, I think it's another way to kind of have your name pop up on their screen, which is what we're trying to do. So, like, but I think it's hard to spend like 4 hours and just fill out questionnaires. So maybe do like 1 or 2 a day, and try to spread them out a little bit. It is something that you should do. I have had some college coaches say, well, like, that she didn't even fill out our questionnaire. Right. So then she's not really interested. Some of them have that kind of like line where like fill out our questionnaire or you're not communicating interest. Okay. So some schools feel that way. Other schools don't care. So it's one of those things where I would encourage you to try and do as much of it as you can. But obviously you can't do all of it. Right. Yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. At some point, probably the schools you're reaching out to, you should try to fill out their questionnaire. Again, bare bones, name, contact info, some of the specifics, just because it's going to put you in their system, right? Keep in mind, you fill out a questionnaire for a school, they're going to send you a camp invite, probably because that's in their automatic email reply system. Like, just a heads up, that's probably going to happen in most schools. If you can't find the questionnaire, that's a good question. So here would be what I would do, right? What I would encourage athletes to do. If you're interested in a school and you want to fill out the questionnaire to let them know that you're interested, that's great. That would be what I put in an email. Like, if I can't find their questionnaire, I would say, "Hey, coach, it's Blake. I really want to fill out your questionnaire, but I couldn't find it online." Okay. Now, technically, Division I schools aren't allowed to send you questionnaires anymore. It's a really stupid rule. That's a whole nother thing that I won't get into. But what they can do is they can send the questionnaire link to your club coach or to your club director, and then you can fill it out from there, right? So they probably won't be able to send you the questionnaire directly if you ask for it. But at least they're going to go, "Hey, this kid's interested. Like, let's get her the stinking questionnaire link," right? Figure out how to get it to her and then make sure she fills it out. I have had some coaches who will send stuff like via University Athlete, which I don't necessarily like. I feel like it's mostly grad assistants because they don't know what's going on. But yeah, that would be my advice. If you can't find a questionnaire for a school on their website, I would email them and say, "Hey, I'd really like to fill out your questionnaire. I'm really interested. Can I have the link?" And then they should figure out a way to get it to you. So. One more. We got one more. Hey, so for you guys who have been like sending stuff out and using this time with the snow and not school, and hopefully you're not doing too much homework. I feel like my kids have been doing a lot of homework the last couple of days, but hey, congrats to you guys. And I applaud y'all that have been sending out emails over kind of this break during the winter storm. It's awesome. Like, take advantage of the time that you have to reach out to schools, to get on their radars, to communicate interest. That's a huge deal for a lot of these programs, is that you just show interest in our program, in our school. And so for those of you that are reaching out and being proactive about the process, I just really applaud you guys. I think it's awesome. So keep that up. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. Check out the links in the description to our online program and to our app. Just really good tools, really good resources for you guys. And then make sure to check out the rest of the videos here on YouTube. We've got answered a ton of questions just here in the Q&As. So you can go rewatch those. I'm working on clipping those together and pulling out some of the content and making kind of some highlights, if there's a highlight of me talking. But yeah, if you have questions, we've got answers on our YouTube channel. So please check out the rest of those videos. And then if there is a question that you guys have that maybe we don't have the answer to, like some of these have been good questions that I don't think we have necessarily answers to. So that's great. If you have more questions that you want to ask, that you want answers to, let us know. DM Michelle or myself on Instagram, or email me if you have my contact info. And then we can answer your question, and then also, make another video. Because again, those of you guys that are subscribing to this channel, we really appreciate it. And we're definitely committed to kind of helping athletes understand and grow through this process and giving you guys a bunch of info. And so we're going to put out as much content as we can. So you guys have a great and fantastic Tuesday. Stay warm. Hopefully the roads get clear and y'all can get back to practice in school here soon. So let us know if there's anything else we can help with. And thank you guys for watching, and go check out some more of those videos.